Hi everybody, it's Kale from the PS Podcast here, and I'm joined by my good friend Govinda Whitehurst.
We're talking about a game from Campo Santo.
From Campo Santo. A game from Campo Santo.
We're doing a spoiler cast.
Yeah.
But not the one you all expected.
No, in a shocking upset.
Curveball.
Today we're going to talk about Firewatch. And maybe we'll do Life is Strange next time.
Yeah, mainly
if you do your
due
homework.
to the fact that I haven't finished it.
I think I predicted that last week, and I am once again correct.
Yeah, not so much prediction. I didn't try to hide it, and no promises were made.
I feel let down.
Preview.
I feel like I need to speak for the audience. I feel let down. I'm disappointed.
Here's a preview of the next spoiler cast we do. Overhyped. Now let's get into Firewatch.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Yeah, so we thought we'd try something a little different.
One of the dozens of you wanted spoiler casts.
Yeah, and I like that idea, because in the PS Podcast, we sort of
avoid spoilers.
We do, and we sort of...
the plague.
And yeah, we sort of like talk about a lot of different games, and I feel like we don't really delve deep enough into some of these.
Because we can't. We try to avoid the spoilers, because we don't want to spoil the fun.
That's right. That's right. It's just I So, yeah, today Govinda played Firewatch. I beat it about a week ago.
I was at Kale's house and played it on his PlayStation because I didn't want to spend the money, if I'm being honest.
Smart. And meanwhile, I was hungover and napped in the background.
But before we get into it,
yeah,
if you haven't played Firewatch, don't listen to this.
Yes, obviously this will contain...
Caveat. If you haven't played Firewatch and don't intend to ever play Firewatch, I guess you can listen.
I do that sometimes.
Yeah.
That's fine. Like, you should play Firewatch, I think. Like, I've kind of taken a bit of a... Well, give us some background. What is Firewatch, Govinda?
Firewatch is what they call a walking simulator. No,
I don't like that term, but it is.
It's a story-driven, single-player, linear to a point...
First-person
game.
Yeah. No, it's not even a puzzle game, is it?
No, it's literally a story, like interactive story.
Yep. And you spend a lot of time just wandering. Where are they? They're in Wyoming.
Wyoming National Park. I forget the name of the actual national park. It's like
set in the late 80s. And you basically are just out in the wilderness in a Firewatch lookout.
Yeah, but let's take it a step back.
Yep.
Because the game starts and you're given or shown a bunch of text on the screen.
This is cool. I like this part.
Which pretty much sets a real downer tone.
It's a somber tone. So the interactive choices you're presented with as a backstory for the main character, Henry.
And as far as I can tell, it's kind of just so you can impart your personality onto the character to some degree.
Yes. What options did you go with? I'm trying to remember them.
Long story short, it's like a tale of how you met your wife and how
my mother.
What?
I was trying to be quippy. I guess it didn't work.
You're incestuous. That's kind of what I got from that.
Yeah, that's weird. I guess I didn't...
It's like a tale about how you meet your wife and how she gets early onset dementia. Yeah. And then at like the age of 41, she starts forgetting who you are. There's a decision towards the end where you choose whether or not you try to take care of her yourself or you send her to a home.
Which one did you go with?
I sent her to a home.
What happened with that?
She ended up... I kind of actually got confused because as far as I was aware, I found a place nearby where I could go visit her. Yeah. Her sister would come and visit her. Funnily enough, your wife is Australian?
Yeah, she's from Melbourne. Yeah.
But then towards the end of the game, they start talking like she's in Melbourne, and I kind of was confused.
Well, I chose the opposite to take care of her myself, but apparently
Wait, you chose the opposite? So you sent her to a home?
No, I chose to look after her.
Oh, sorry, I thought you just said you chose the opposite of looking after her yourself.
Oh, yeah, and so you take care of her in your home, but like Henry starts slipping and he starts going out at night and drinking. Yeah. And like the family come to visit and he just hasn't been taking great care of her.
Yeah, well that's kind of why I changed. I chose to put her in a home just because they kind of hinted that already.
Yep. And yeah, I guess they sort of explain why she's in Australia, because the parents come and take her. They're like, you're not taking good enough care of her, so we're going to take her back to Australia and look after her.
Yeah, see, that's why I got confused. I don't know if there was like a thread that they didn't tie up properly, but I don't recall them explaining how she got from the home I put her in to Australia.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, it might have just been like a sentence.
So I might have missed it. But there was other things like what sort of dog you were going to get.
I named mine. What was it?
Did you get the Beagle or the German Shepherd?
I got the Beagle.
Oh, yeah, Bucket.
Yeah, I went with Bucket too. And as far as I know, that's the only choice that impacts the game. Like, you reference Bucket.
And someone said that's a cool name.
Yeah, yeah.
I was actually interested because you actually get mugged in this little intro text thing.
Just to reiterate, this is all text.
This is only text. It's just a little story that comes through. And then it's
sad music playing. Like, it's kind of impactful. I liked it.
Oh, no, definitely. It definitely was sad.
Yep.
And then it cuts some tiny little bits of gameplay of you pulling up to the park. You start your hike up to the Firewatch, which apparently is like a 2-day hike.
So yeah, I think we kind of missed that. So basically the wife is out of the picture and the main character takes a job. He basically is running from his problem.
Yeah, but they're kind of cutting this in with this story that goes on.
Yep.
So you're getting little glimpses of you pulling up in your car and climbing out, and then it cuts back to you have your dog and
little Bucket.
She gets mugged, or you guys together get mugged with your dog. And I was almost thinking that I should have picked the German Shepherd and seen what would have happened there.
Yeah, like maybe it mauls the mugger.
Yeah, but I scared the mugger off. So.
Oh, that's pretty boss.
Yeah, I put my hand in my pocket like there was a gun and started saying I'd kill him and shit.
I think I did the same thing. I'm trying to remember what other choices there were.
It was. What did you say to her when you first met her in the bar?
I think it was like, you're pretty.
Yeah, we're too similar.
Yeah, this is very boring.
This is not fun for anyone.
Luckily, this is the only multiple choice segment of the game.
No, the whole game is all your dialogue choices.
That's true. That is true. You do pick what you say and you don't
constantly.
Yeah.
And there's no like, I can pick the other thing once I do this. It's kind of, you just pick one and go with it.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a few. But anyway, you do that. You try and escape your problems by taking a summer-long job of a 3-month job working by yourself as a fire watchman.
Which actually sounds kind of great.
But also, like, crazy. Like, you're by yourself for 3 months, and if you didn't have
Delilah,
the co-star Delilah,
our lovely female,
you would go crazy.
I don't like. I like the idea he's just got all these books out there, and like you just hang out and read. You just look around, like. I'm kind of jumping a little bit, but remember when I was playing it and I said, "What's wrong with all the climbing animations? They're so like janky and slow." Yeah.
And you said he was meant to be kind of a fat guy.
Well, you never actually see Henry. There's like a self-portrait.
Yeah, you kind of do, and he is a bit big. But I feel like maybe I was just losing it at the end. But I feel like towards the end of the game, the climbing was quicker because I assume you've been there for 2 months and you're fitter.
Yeah, maybe that could be a thing.
So I thought that was pretty cool. But anyway, you get into it. Delilah's kind of guiding you through.
Yeah, Delilah is like the coordinator of the Firewatch. Supposedly there's other towers out there.
Yeah, she kind of coordinates all the watches.
And she's constantly speaking to you through a radio.
It's the main interaction in the game is you have a walkie-talkie that I was thinking, talk to people through.
That's probably
talk to her.
That's probably the only reason it's set in 89 is because there's no phones. Like,
oh, you can't just have like
that whole gameplay just wouldn't work.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about it. But
it's cool. It's cool so you can look at things in the environment and you pull L2, I believe.
L2 to pull up your walkie-talkie, and then it's R2 to cycle through your choices.
Yep, and that's context.
And then when you let go of L2, it activates the choice you had highlighted.
Yeah, and that's context sensitive. Like, you can look at something in the distance and get more information.
Or like, alert her about that if you're searching for something at the time.
And that, aside from like tying ropes to things, is
climbing.
Is the entire gameplay. Like, and you just walk around.
Yeah, but it's
cool,
well done, and
it's fine. Like,
you mentioned it last episode of our PS podcast, and the voice acting is so good.
Yeah, and you just listen to these two characters speak.
Like I was engaged the entire time.
Yeah, no, it's a cool story.
And as far as I can tell, there's only like maybe 2 times where I was like, "What the fuck am I doing? Like, where am I going?" Because there was one that was you're looking for some teenage girls.
Yep, the very first thing you do in the game.
No, after that, because they cut the communication wires.
Oh, yeah.
And then you got to go
Wait,
find...
did they actually do that? I kind of forgot about that part.
Yeah, well, you assume so, because there's a thing on the rock that says, you fucking jerk.
Oh,
underneath the communication thing. So you assume they do it in revenge for you busting in them skinny dipping.
Yeah. What's going on out on that rock?
Everyone tried to zoom in. Don't lie to me.
Yeah, I definitely...
You can zoom with L1.
Oh, yep.
But I was looking for them, and I dropped off a big drop, and I just couldn't find my way out of this area.
I remember when you were saying that.
I was like, where the fuck do I go? And I looked around for a little bit, and then it took me a little while. I found it. And then again, looking for them again. Because the first day is the longest.
Yeah, for
Maybe
sure.
the first
for sure.
two.
What happened to me? You know, like, you have to go through that cave at the very start of the game?
Yeah.
I just walked past it and just, like, kept going. And just, like... Because you can just keep walking.
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
just had no idea. And eventually Delilah was like, you're going the wrong way. And I was just like, oh, shit. You're watching me.
The game is divided into, like, days. And it cuts from, like, day 1, day 2, and then...
Like 7.
Day to 7.
And then, like, 30.
And
like
then 30, and then straight up to, like, 76, 77, 78. And it ends on 78.
And I was saying last week... that kind of felt like weird pacing to me.
You know what my problem with it was? Was not that... Like, I understand that you're there for 3 months, so obviously you're not going to play for 3 months.
Well, yeah.
There's only certain... Like, only certain events happen that are poignant to the story.
Yep.
But I felt like the character, Henry, kind of surpassed me in my relationship with Delilah.
Yeah, it took like that one night they're having like radio sex almost.
Well, almost borderline. Yeah. But not even like, I don't know, you just jump 40 days ahead and then all of a sudden they're talking and I'm like, I just don't feel like I'm as engaged in this because
caught up with them.
You guys have like a 2-month history that I'm not aware of anymore.
I actually feel left out if I'm being honest.
But like it wasn't too detrimental to it. I just noticed like maybe it just seemed... It's a difficult challenge to tackle, I guess, in a game where you're trying to span 3 months in 3 hours.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. And yeah, we should probably say that. It's a very short game.
Well, it's like, I don't know, I was saying Gone Home can be done in a minute. If you know what you're doing.
And then I was saying to you, this game, like, so these things you're radioing in and talking to Delilah about, most of them are optional. Like, when she calls, she's like, pick up Henry, you don't have to say anything. And she'll like change, like, I don't know how significant it is, but apparently...
annoyed her.
Yeah, like, you can really piss her off, and, like, she'll leave for a while. There's a mechanic where she'll just get pissed off and not be near the radio anymore.
Yeah, what was it? She's like, oh, sorry, I've got to take this phone call, or this call, and she leaves her radio to you on, and it's her talking about you, or so it seems.
That's like the first... So we haven't even really spoken about, like, this is sort of a mystery game. They lead you to believe... This is like there's a real something going on.
The teenagers that you scare off
go missing,
and then you're kind of implicated in whatever's happened to them.
Yep. There's also the weird guy that you see. Like,
there's the weird guy that flashes a flashlight at you and just stands there.
What's his name again?
Ooh,
we should probably know that.
Anything.
The son was Brian Goodwin.
Ooh, I don't know. Sorry,
I'll find out.
Think I'd
Keep
know.
Going.
There's just so many. This was part of... I really enjoyed the game.
It's a good game.
My one big gripe is that they have this actually really cool thread of these girls have gone missing, and because you were the last ones to see them, and they left you this angry note about their leaving because they think you fucked up their camp.
When it was in fact
this other dude that you're looking up now.
Yep, Ned Goodwin.
But there's this really cool thread, and then there's literally a point, like as if it's an afterthought, where she's like, you're walking through and Delilah just goes, oh yeah, by the way, they found those girls.
Yeah, they were like partying down.
Yeah, they were partying somewhere. They got arrested.
Yep.
And that was it. And I was like, oh.
I noticed that too. I was like, well, that's kind of the big thing with this, I feel. It's sort of like a bait and switch. Like, you think it's this big. So I guess we should talk about it a little more. Like, so one day, you're wandering around and like... Delilah will just have you investigate things.
Yeah, fire generally. You'll see smoke or fireworks or something.
And you just find this fence. And it's